I'm in a lesson with Russell and we're talking about minor pentatonic scales. I have a little loop going here with a dotted eighth, a swing eighth note rhythm. So we're talking about soloing in a blues format, and so we have E minor pentatonic, so I might do something in form 2. And then I went down to form 1. If you're not sure about what form 2 means or form 1 means, you could email me or message me, and I could send you out a sheet. So again, that's form 2. And I'm ending on the 4th note of the scale. It's a E minor blues scale, form 1. So now maybe I'll go to form 3. Down to form 1. Does that make sense? So E minor blues scale. There we go. The beauty of live videos, right? So I think we talked about the Johnny Winter thing. He went up to that major pentatonic, so maybe, you know. So that's that major pentatonic. Then minor pentatonic. Form 1. E major pentatonic. Minor pentatonic. So you hear the tougher sound of the minor pentatonic. There's that nice sweet sound of the major, see?
Yeah.
That tougher sound of the minor. Sweet sound of the major. And so now, where was I? I was in form 5 for the minor. And then here's form 1 for the major. Or form 2 for the major. And form 1 for the minor. So I'm going quickly, but if you could take out the sheets, you could pause the video, you can say, okay, here's what he means.
Yeah.
You know, and if you don't have the sheets, make a comment, email me, contact me, and I have them all in a almost published book by Jeffrey Navarez. So that wasn't pentatonics at all, I was just playing an interval. So form 2. Form 3. Form 4. Still form 4. Form 5. So I know that I'm talking about moving through the forms because that was the question. What was I doing? And I don't want you to, this is like so important, you don't want to make moving through the forms what you're trying to do. You want to make making a good musical statement what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
You got to listen and hear what you're saying. So even though they're not strictly pentatonic licks, I'm still hearing it. I gotta go up an octave. Now my voice is not following me. I can hear it in my head, but I can't maybe sing it, you know. So I'm moving through the forms, I'm moving around the neck, and why I'm doing that is because I'm hearing the sounds.
Yes.
And so that's first and foremost. Then how do we get there? Well, yes, you got to memorize each form, and you need to know that here's form 1, here's form 2, form 3. Yes, you have to know how to do that.
Yeah.
So the question becomes, where are you within that process?
Yeah.
Can you go through the whole neck and play all the forms? If you can't, then that's where you're going to start.
Yeah.
At the same time, you still want to be singing those forms and hearing them and trying to make that sound that you hear in your head on the fingerboard. Or, you know, or if you're doing the blues, you don't have to be a great singer, you don't have to sing every single note perfectly. I certainly don't. And then you put some backing track on and you try to find a melody. Just pick 1 or 2 notes. I'll take 1 note. I picked the root, nice safe note. Flat 7, 5, 1. So now I could take those 3 notes. So I put some space in between. And now we have like a little motif. And I change for other notes. So in blues we could call this a call. And we'll do an answer. Now we have a little, little melody here. By the way, it's the same notes. This is the flat 3. This is the 1, flat 3, 1. But I changed the octave and where it is.
Yeah.
It gives it some interest.
Yeah.
Okay, so that makes sense what we just did?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so you don't have to make complicated melodies, you gotta make melodies that make sense. Starkiss doesn't want tuna with good taste. Wants tuna that tastes
It's
good.
Good analogy.
And all the young kids will go, what the hell is he talking about? Only anybody over 40 gets that joke, right? So anyway, again, melodies first, and if you don't know the forms, then first you gotta, I'm gonna turn this off, then you're going to play the forms so you can connect them. By the way, I'm playing them differently than I played them before. That's the other thing. When you're practicing these, practice them different ways each time. I played this one up, then I played the next form down, the next one up, the next one down.
Okay. Yeah.
I think we also talked about playing the forms in between. Instead of learning how to connect them on the outer strings, try to connect them on the inner strings.
Yes.
So now we have maybe strings 5 and 4. Form 1, then 5. This is the minor pentatonic. 4, 3. Same notes, but I bent to the pitches instead of playing sliding, So there's that lick, Where am I? So now I know where that is because I've connected all the shapes already.
Yeah.
And I can connect them. So.
Do you think there's a certain amount of time to to learn the forms and to, like you're saying, hear them and sing them, you know, to the notes, and then go to what you're saying about,
What do you want me
you
to
know,
give you
doing
a time frame, or I mean, like that's an
I
impossible
should be
question.
good by
Yeah, by Christmas in
Christmas,
2040.
spend 24 hours a day. Yeah, it's
And so that's the other thing, though, realistic expectations, right? You got a daytime job, you got responsibilities, you're working, you
Yes.
practice it for a half hour a day. You know, maybe trying to learn all the forms is, you know, too much to expect some progress that you can see. So maybe this is just an option. Take 2 forms at a time, and hang out with them.
yeah, okay.
Form
I
1.
like that,
Form 2. All right.
yeah. And go back and forth.
Just
with
form 1 and
yeah,
form 2, and that's your world.
Yeah, okay.
That's it.
I like
Learn to
that,
hear
yeah,
in between there.
Yeah,
And then when you feel like you're getting progress,
yeah,
do not jump away from that world. You're expanding that world. So what forms did we start in? Forms 1 and 2, right?
Mhm.
So if I was you, I would make form 1 my center. So if I'm in the key of E, here's my, and so we did form 1, form 2. I would make form 5 the next addition to that world.
Okay, yeah,
Because now you have, you know, so that's 5. This was 1. 1, 2, 5.
see, that's good, because I thought you were gonna say the next one would be 3, but the way you said, go from 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, and then go to 5, down to 5.
The only reason why I said that is from experience, though. So if you're not, if you haven't learned the forms already, see, I've already made the mistakes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm saying don't do 3, do
Do
5,
5,
because that
okay.
way 1 is the most popular form. It's the easiest form to play.
Hey, I
That's
agree
why
with
it's the
that,
most
yeah.
popular.
Yes,
And
yeah.
that's the one we always use.
Yeah.